Welcome back. Today I'm going to attempt another Puzzle Rush Survival on chess.com. Just a heads up, these videos are usually pretty long because I don't fail the early ones. The only way to make these short is for me to fail the early ones. And if I don't, then the later ones are more difficult and they take me longer to solve. But I'm going to give it a go here. I just got back from paying my property taxes, and that took a lot out of me. So hopefully I still have what it takes to solve some of these puzzles. By the way, if you're looking for a way to feel young and you're around my age in your 40s or 50s, go pay your property taxes in person. That's one of my secrets to not feeling quite so old. I feel old all the time because I'm getting older all the time, but the line at the place where I pay my property taxes is filled with people older than me. I'm almost always the youngest person in line there, and that's just a little emotional thing that I had to share with you. But anyway, let's flip over to the other screen here and just click go so I don't take up any more of your time. Good luck to me. Oh wow, we're going to start with a hard one. I'm playing with the white pieces. Can I just checkmate them here? Oh, that's probably bad. Oh, that was it. And then, oh, that was it. Okay. Wow. These are the first ones? Usually the first ones are much harder, and I'm playing with the white pieces again here. I can just take that, right? Wow, 3 in a row that are endgame puzzles. Okay, the site's doing me wrong today, and I'm playing with the black pieces this time. Yeah, usually these are checkmates in one. Actually, this one might be a mate in one right there. I think that's my rook, right? I'm not in check. Okay, finally a mate in one. Again, this is the 4th endgame puzzle in a row? Oh my, yeah, this is not like the last time I played. And this time I'm playing with the white pieces. Okay, this time it's a mate in 2. Pretty sure, because they have to block, and my king cut off the other squares. Okay, this is more what I'm used to looking like on these early puzzles. I believe I have a mate in 1 right there on h5. Okay. Oh, and this, okay, this is what I'm used to in the early puzzles. Wow, I can't believe those other ones were rated so low. This is a very simple mate in 1. And again, mate in 1 here, pretty sure. Okay, that is also a mate in 1, is it not? Nothing else is guarding that square except my rook and my queen. Okay, yeah, those 3 or so should have been the first ones. Wow, the very first one wasn't a mate in 1. It was just moving pawns and trading a rook. Wow. Do I have mate in 1 on this one as well? It looks like I do. I always hesitate just a little bit because I'm used to the more difficult puzzles where you think you have the mate in 1, but there's some sort of trick. Okay, now here my bishop's cutting off those squares, so I think putting my queen back here on c1 is checkmate, because they can't block with anything and nothing was guarding that square. Okay. Oh, that rook should have stayed on the back rank because I'm pretty sure this is mate. My rook's about to get lost, but what do I have? Do I have anything? I can take this knight with check, and then if they block with the queen, I'll get that pawn? That can't be it, right? Do I have anything else? I mean, I could just take the knight, but then they'll check me again. I should take the knight with check, right? Because that's protected. The knight and the king are protecting that square. I'm going to take the center knight. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and then they blocked with the queen. Okay, I can't move my queen to take that pawn because my queen is pinned, so I have to take their queen, and then I'll take their knight. Okay, that one was a little complex. Here I do not have a mate in 1 because their queen is still guarding that square, and they're lining up for a checkmate here. This can't be good. Can I line my rook up with their queen and get their queen to move and then check there? Okay, yeah, this one is already a little complicated for me. What would I do in a game? I would not do this because I would lose my queen and that rook for their queen. I think I need to directly threaten their queen first, and then if it takes this pawn, I have a mate in 1. If it takes the rook, I have a mate in 1. But it might just move over. What if it just moves over? Oh, then I take their rook with check. They take it, and then I have a mate in 1. I think. Oh, they moved over. Okay. Well, I'm going to take their rook, and when their queen quits guarding that file, which I think it has to. No, it doesn't have to. The queen could take, and then I have mate in 1, but what if the king just moves? Oh, then I go here and win their queen? Okay. Oh, it did take. All right. Yeah, oh, wow. That was my queen, wasn't it? But I have checkmate here. Okay. I mean, that's a check, right? And then the king has to move over. There's no other choice, and then that's a mate? Pretty sure. Oh, it just stopped there. Okay. Oh, I almost went here, but the knight could take me. But either knight. What about here? That's checkmate, because it gets out of the way of my rook. I think that's checkmate. Oh, if not, it was pretty close. Their knight is guarding that square, but wait, nothing's guarding this square. Can I check here? Is that checkmate? If not, it's pretty close, because my bishop was guarding that square. Okay. Okay, they have a passed pawn. That's getting really close. I can check, but the rook could take there. I can check here, but the pawn would take, and I can't check with anything else. But I can pin their rook. That doesn't seem good, does it? I could move this pawn forward, and then when they take it, I can take their passed pawn, but then they have two more passed pawns there, right? If I move my b pawn forward, actually, if I move my b pawn forward, they can just move that pawn, and then I can take, and they promote with check, so that's not it. What else can I do? Do I have to go after the pawn? Because pinning the rook, they move this forward again. Oh, and then I take the rook with check, and I assume would take my bishop, and then I take the pawn with check, but then they go back toward my knight, and it's unprotected, and then their pawn's one square from promotion. So if I do this and they move that pawn forward, I have to go toward the pawn. But is that my best first move? I don't know. I could move the king first, but then what? Then I don't know if I should do that or not. Oh, if I move the king, their rook can still move. But if I move the bishop first, their rook cannot move. If I move the king first, what does their rook do? It can't come here because of my knight to come down this open file. I guess it could take my knight, and I would take, and they would take, and then I would take their pawn, and I would have a piece left. Okay, it's one of those two moves, but this one seems difficult to me, and I might get it wrong, but I'm going to move the king first, just because I don't think the rook can get around there. Sorry, you can't see it on the video, but a pop-up box just popped up here about cookies. I don't know why my browser just now warned me about that. Okay, I have no idea what the solution was. If I remember, I will check my failed puzzles at the end. It must have been the other one, the bishop, and I'll try to remember that when we get to the end. Let's see. I think I can get two pieces for one here, I think. And I think it's taking the knight. Because if I take the knight, I'm threatening their queen, and then I assume they'll move the queen out of danger or take my knight, and then I'll get their bishop. I think that's the answer here. But I'm pretty bad at middle game puzzles, and this looks like a middle game. We haven't had a chance to develop yet, so that's what I'm going to do. And if they take my bishop, I'll take their queen. Oh, they moved the queen. Okay. I thought they were going to take my knight, but instead they went to protect the bishop. So I went up a piece already, and they're aiming here where they're going to get really close to winning my rook, but I should take the bishop first, right? Because I can't save, actually I could save my knight, because if they took it, I would take back. Should I try to save the knight or take the bishop? I'm going to take the bishop. Oh, and they took it. And now I save the knight by coming here, right? To d4, where my queen would be protecting it. Because I think that's the only way I can protect the knight now. There's nothing else I can capture there. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's another reason I do the Puzzle Rush Survival once in a while, because I've been stuck on the same level of puzzles for a long time, and some of these are pretty difficult for low-rated puzzles, at least difficult for me. What is going on here? I do have some checks with my queen, but those aren't good, right? Oh, no, my bishop is protecting my queen. So, oh, that's not mate because of their knight, and that's not mate. Their two knights are guarding those two squares. Okay, so that's not it. Wait, what if I take this knight first? Can they check me? They can, but I would just take their queen. Okay, I think I take that knight first and then check them back there, but then they can come out. But then I would take... No, then I would move here. That pawn wouldn't be there anymore because that pawn had taken my knight when I first took, I think. Yeah, I can't check there right now because of that front knight, so I should take the front knight first. Oh, I did. Oh, and then they gave me their queen. Okay, I think it's because I'm about to mate them. Okay. Oh, yeah, they wouldn't be able to move up there because... Well, no, they would because my bishop wouldn't be there. Yeah, see, I thought they were gonna take the bishop, and then I would check, and they would come up here, and I'd have to check again, and then... Oh, and then that would have been mate. Okay. I think they just took my rook, but what? I don't have a mate here because their rook's guarding that square. But I can check here, and they have to go back, and then I take their rook and it's mate. They can't come forward because of my bishop and queen both guarding those two squares. So they would have to go back, and then I would get their rook with mate. This one seems really simple compared to the other ones, unless I'm missing something, because when I check here, they can't get out of check because of my knight. They'll have to block with the bishop, and I'll just take it, and then that's checkmate, right? Oh, now they can go there, but now I can go here, and that's still checkmate. Okay, yeah, that one seemed really simple compared to a few of the previous ones. But I understand that what's simple for me isn't necessarily simple for other people. What is going on here? I can't fork them because their bishop's guarding that square. So should I take the bishop first? Wait, are we even on material? We both have 2 rooks and 2 minor pieces all lined up in a row to make it easy to count them. All right, I think I should take the bishop. I assume they'll take back, but I don't know. They might do something else. Let's see, they can't check me immediately. So yeah, they'll probably take back, and then I will check them and win that rook. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, if the first move was right, the other ones had to be right. Nothing else made sense at that point after giving up the rook for the bishop. I don't think I can check here or here because of the pawn and the bishop, but what if I checked here on b6? Nothing of theirs is guarding that square. My rook's cutting off all of this, and my queen would be hitting those 2, so the king would have to go one way or the other, and then that's checkmate. They might block with the bishop, but I would just take it. And they can't block with the queen because their own pawn's in the way. So yeah, it has to be that, right? Oh, they did block with the bishop. Okay. And then it was going to be mate after their king moved over 1, whichever way it moved. This is checkmate right here. How was this one rated 1300 and something? 1356. That one move, easy. Queen and knight checkmate. Very easy. Yeah, to me, some of the ratings of these are way off, but I'm no expert. Let's see, what can we do? They have just moved here. If I take it, they put their rook there, threatening my queen. And then what would I do? Oh, and then I would take this pawn and have a queen trade? That seems off. Again, right now we're even on material. I haven't counted all the pawns, but we both have a queen, a rook, and 2 minor pieces. If I take this, and they put this here, I go up a pawn, we do a queen trade, I have a rook in here. There might be something else that I'm missing. Also, I've got a pawn that's about to fall here. If I try to pin the bishop, it just takes mine, I'm pretty sure, and then I take theirs and they take back, and then I'm down a bishop. What else can I do? And also, I don't have anything protecting this bishop right now. I can move this pawn forward, threatening their rook, but then their rook could just move over or come up 1. Oh, but then I could threaten it again. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm about to fail this puzzle too. This will be my second failure, I'm pretty sure, because this doesn't look great for me. I just go up a pawn, but I have to do something because, again, my bishop's hanging. I can't protect my bishop, right? I guess I could move it back 1, but then what? I don't know. I'm going to take the bishop. That might be wrong. Oh, that was right, and they did exactly what I said. So now is it taking the pawn? Oh, that comes with check. Oh, no, it's taking the rook. Oh, wow. I got it, because that pawn is pinned. They checked me. I can just defend that with my queen, and I'm up a rook. Because if I move out of check, they take this. So I'm gonna defend. Oh, no. Yeah, I have to defend my queen. If I defend with anything else, or just move out of check, they take my queen. Okay, so I came out of that a rook ahead. I didn't see that once my queen moved over to take the rook, that pawn couldn't take my queen. Well, it could, but then I would get their queen with check with my rook, and I would probably get their knight after that. Okay, so I didn't fail it. I just couldn't see far enough, and I wasn't sure what else to do. The thing that decided it for me was that my bishop was hanging, and if I did anything else, they would just get a free bishop. All right, what do I have here? Oh, I have mate in 1. Really? Another mate in 1. Really easy mate in 1. Okay. For a second, I thought it was tricking me, but that was mate. Okay. I'm not sure what that does. I do know that if I take their bishop, they'll take my queen, and I can't do anything about that. So should I move the knight then? Because my knight's hanging. Actually, no. My knight has no safe squares. Oh, I have a check. Is that it? And if they move over here, I have mate on f2. They move over here, I still go to f2, and they get away. Oh, no, they can't go there because of my knight. Okay, it's this check. And it just stopped there, even though I'm pretty sure they could move over 1 and I would have mate. But yeah, that was a little harder because I sometimes don't see those long diagonals from the queen. But I did have that check. Okay, I'm glad I saw it. Okay, what is going on here? I have 2 rooks completely controlling the e-file, but they're putting pressure on the e-file too, so I can't just check here, I don't think. I could threaten the bishop But if it takes, I would have to take with that rook because I can't clear my back rank right now. Oh no, if I threaten the bishop, they take that rook. Okay, got it. All right. And if I check now, I suppose, oh, they can't get out of, oh, that's mate. No, it's not mate because they would take. Wait, yeah, if I check, they take. And then what? Wait, what if I moved over one? If I move that far rook to f8, I'm pinning the bishop to the queen. But wait, then these two pieces are not defended and the queen could threaten both of them here. I have no idea. Or do I have any other checks besides there on e7? I could check here, but the king just takes it. And my only follow-up check would be there, and the king could just take that too. I don't think it's threatening the queen, because that wouldn't be protected, and that would basically be checkmate. I'd have to block with the other rook, and they would take that too. So what in the world is it? Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this one already, and we're only at puzzle 28? What am I missing? I mean, I do get that if I played here with this bishop, the pawn would be protecting it, and both rooks would be protecting it. But again, they could take there. But then I could take their bishop, and it would be check, and I would have a rook and a bishop left. But right now I have two rooks and a bishop left. And I would have lost a rook for their bishop, so that's not good. It might have something to do with the fact that my dark squared bishop is currently cutting off some squares from that king. But again, I can't check here on e7 because of their bishop. I mean, I can, but I just lose both rooks, and then they checkmate me. But what about these squares being cut off? Is that important? Should I bring a rook back to threaten their queen? Is that what it is, that their queen is running out of squares? It could just go here threatening my bishop, but then I could go here and then the queen would have to run to there probably. That's the safest square. So no, the queen isn't trapped. Okay, I have no idea what it is on this puzzle. I thought about coming over here to threaten this, but then the king just goes toward me but then I could check here, but then the king just goes back. That doesn't do anything. I'm definitely missing something. So yeah, I'm going to fail this one because I know that's not it. I have no idea what it was. Nothing stood out about that puzzle, and it was only rated 15.99, and I wasted way too much time on it. Okay, but these are definitely getting harder. I have a check here, which looks pretty good, but I'm pretty sure they can just move out of the check. Oh, they also have a queen down here. I'm about to get checkmated. Both of their rooks are pointed at my f-pawn. So if I check, they just move down, and I can't follow because of their rook. Wait, if I check here, they have to move down, and I check, and they come over, and that's mate. I was thinking with the wrong rook. Okay, I think I got it, because their own rook blocked their queen's access to that square. Their queen used to be guarding that square. Oh, and it just stopped, even though there was one more move. Okay, they only had one legal move, and then I had checkmate in one after that. I have a check, and they would be forced to take it, and then what? I can't check again because of where my knight is. Wait, I can check them now. Wait, I can check them now with my knight to f8. They can't come out because of the pawn, so they would have to go back. In either way, bringing my knight up here to g6 would be a check again, a discovered check from the rook, and then I would win. No, I wouldn't want to win their knight. I would be trying to get a mate here somehow. I'm going to try knight to f8 check just because I don't want to waste any more time, and I think that's the answer, but it was. Okay, now when I come up here, that's going to be a check again, but then the king has two choices. If I check on g6 and the king comes up here, then I made it in the corner. Okay, so what if it moves over? Sorry, if I check on g6 with the knight, it's revealed check or discovered check by the rook. The king would have to come up one, and then would that still be mate? It would, because my pawn hits that square, my knight's protected by the pawn, my rook's protected by the knight, and my knight guards that square as well. Okay. Then it's mate here, pretty sure. Okay, I've got 9 puzzles to go to tie my record, and I'm playing with the black pieces. Do I have any checks? I have a check with the pawn. Wait, can their king not move right now? Okay, I think that's it, because right now my knight is cutting off that square, my b-pawn is hitting a4 and c4, and my rook is cutting off the entire third rank. It's just that the king's not in check right now. So if I check, the only legal move would be to take, and then I think swinging my rook over to a8 would be mate. No, then the king would just go back. But then I come up here with my rook, and that's mate, I think. Yeah, that was checkmate. Okay. I do have a queen capture here. I can't move my rook though, because it's pinned. Okay, and they're about to checkmate me, so I have to do something, and I have to do it fast. If I check them here, they cannot take back with their king because of my bishop. So they would take back with their queen. Sorry, let me keep the colors consistent. They would take back with their queen. Then I would take with the bishop. That would be a check. And they couldn't take it because my rook is here. Even though the rook is pinned, it's still guarding that square from the king. That's just how chess works. So they would have to move over. And then I would have to move my bishop for a discover check, but then they could take my rook. And I would be in check, but then I could take their bishop. Wow, is there no other check here? Because I don't see anything else. Anything I do that's not a check, they have mate on the next turn, except for this, in which case they have mate coming up shortly, I think. Do I have any other checks besides the queen? I don't. Okay, I'm going to do it. Oh, they did take it. And I still can't move my rook, so I have to check with the bishop. If I don't take that, not only could it take me, but it could take here, and that's checkmate. So I have to take their queen. Oh, it stopped there. I almost didn't do it because I didn't know what to do after they moved their king out of check. Wow. And now I'm going to forget to check that one at the end because it's green. But you know what? I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to write down to check the one that's rated 1783 because I don't know what they did afterward. That's one reason to keep a little notebook handy here at the desk. I suppose I could be futuristic and use a text document. Okay. Nevertheless, in this one I am playing with the black pieces. I'm not in check, but anywhere they move that bishop will be check, discovered by their queen, so they could do something like put their bishop over here on c4 and win my rook for the bishop after I got out of check. No, if they did that, I would block with the rook. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, something like this. But I do have checks. I have a check with the rook. I think that's my only one. So I think I should check with the rook. That only leaves them one legal move. It's protected by my queen, so they would have to come forward. And then I would check with my queen here, and that would be checkmate. This is a mate in two? It is a mate in two. That's checkmate. And that was rated 1808. Wow. I almost went one square further with my queen, but I realized then the king could have gotten out to the third rank, so it made sense to check on the third rank. This looks really complicated. In a game, I admit it, I would put my knight there on c3, which they would move their queen, and then I would take their bishop. Pretty sure. That's what I would do in a game right here. But it's not a game, it's a puzzle. The reason I would do that is because otherwise they're about to take here maybe and mess up my pawn structure. That's why I would do this. Also, their bishop's undefended. Wait, is that the answer? That their bishop's undefended and they can't defend it? Because when they move the queen, then I just take their bishop for free? Are we even on material? Wait, we both have both bishops, we both have both knights, both rooks, and the queen. Okay, so we have all our pieces here except for I'm missing an e-pawn and they're missing a c-pawn somehow. Okay, that seems like a pretty dubious solution for a puzzle, but it does win the bishop. Is there anything else? Do I have any checks? I do not have a check there, no checks here. That's not check. Can't check with the knight. Maybe it's just winning the bishop. What else could they do in that case? Can they checkmate me? No. They could take my knight with the knight at that point, but then I would take their queen, and if they took my queen, I would take... I don't know. I'm going to do it. Oh, that was it. Oh, they did take my knight with the knight. It's a good thing I thought of that at the end. Well, I should just take that with the pawn, right? And then I get their bishop anyway, because I'll get their queen if they take the pawn. Oh, I'm going to take the bishop then. Well, that worked out well. I have a check. It's the first thing I should look for. I also have a check with the bishop, but I want to check the rook one first. Or should I check the bishop one first? I don't know. Let's just check both of them. If I check with the rook, they have two choices. The king can go back to b1 or to d1. If it goes back to b1, I'll check with the bishop here, and that'll be mate. But what if I check with the rook down here on e2 and it goes to d1? Then it's not mate, because that's not a check. I would just win a pawn out of this deal. So what if I win a pawn out of this deal first? Then the king can't go back to b1. It has to go to d1 or, right? If I check with the bishop on d3, taking that pawn, it's protected by the pawn right here on the c file. So the king would only have two choices. If it went to d2, I could follow with my rook, and then it would have to go to d1. So let's say it goes to d1 first. Let's just cover d1. Then I could check with the knight, and then it would have to go to d2. Okay, so I should check with the bishop first, because the other way doesn't work. Okay, it went there. So I should check with my rook here, and then its only choice is to go down, and then it'll be mate with the knight. What checks do I have? I have two checks on this diagonal. One of them is with this bishop, which I assume would just get taken. The other one is with the queen, which I'm surprised that I saw. But on a7, that's a check. They would have two choices. One to move over. I mean, right? No, they could block. They could block with the rook, but then I would just take it with one of those two pieces. So let's assume they would move. Let's evaluate this check. They would, if they moved over to h1, then what do I have? I don't know. If I checked here on a7 and they moved to f1, then I could push my b pawn forward and it would be a discovered check from my bishop, and they would have to block with their bishop or knight and I would take it, but then they could take, like if they blocked with the knight here, then what? I don't know. Should I move that pawn first to open the discovery from the bishop? No, that doesn't make any sense, right? Well, I'm not in any immediate danger, so there is time for a preparatory move. But again, even if they do something silly like just push another pawn or take that pawn and I check with my queen, they can just move over to h1. And if you haven't seen Puzzle Rush Survival before, the third one that you fail is when you end your streak here. So the third one, and this looks like it's going to be my third one because I have no idea. It's probably one of those two checks, but I really don't know. At first I thought, oh, I could put this knight in here, but that doesn't do anything. They could take it with the knight, and if I take back, then they get a pawn. So what? Push this pawn, they take, then my knight's in danger, then I check. I could also just take this knight, but then they would take it. I have no idea what the answer is here. I'm going to check with my queen on a7 just because it's one of those moves that I normally don't see because it's moving away from where I want to point at, and I don't see anything else. Those are the only two checks, and I don't have any captures, right? This knight can't capture anything. This knight can't capture anything. That's my only capture, but I don't think that helps. And I can't see any threats either, so I'm going to do that, and it'll be wrong, and then we'll find out why. It was wrong. Okay. It's my number 5th best performance of all time. All right, well, it's been a while since I've gotten higher than 34, I think. I think the time that I got 38 was the time that my video didn't work out. And I tried to do it again, and I only ended up getting like 37 in the next video. That was really frustrating. But anyway, I definitely needed some of these earlier puzzles. What I am going to do right now is look at the 3 that I missed, plus the one that I wrote down. Let's do that one first, so we don't forget it. That was the one that was rated 1783, this one. Oh, they fixed that. Used to, you had to click on it twice to open the puzzle in a new tab. Now you just click on it once, and it opens the puzzle in a new tab. Okay, they did that. Yeah, okay, this is the one I got right. I did this, they did that, and I did this, and it stopped. But what happens after the king moves over? My rook is still pinned. So I'm going to take this to the analysis board. It did move it down slightly. As you can see down here on the back rank, my back rank, every site, for some reason, when you switch from whatever board you're on to the analysis board, it moves the board slightly, so it doesn't quite fit on the screen there. So we went here, 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 and that was it. But right now, they only have one legal move, so they should have done that. Okay, I have 3 moves that leave me ahead, but there's one that's clearly best, and that's bishop to h3 check. Okay, wouldn't they move back? It says their best move is to come out. Okay, well, let's say they did that. Then what do I do? I can't go check them again because, again, this rook is pinned. It says I have a couple of moves that are working for me. One is a5 and one is rook to e8. Sorry, I don't see how I'm winning. I know I have more pieces than the opponent. No, I don't. I have the same amount of pieces as my opponent, but just one of them is a rook and one of theirs is a minor piece. I'm up in exchange, but I'm about to go down in exchange. Okay, so what if I play my best move here, rook to e8, which gets behind this passed pawn? Because that pawn wasn't protected. So I can see why that's my best move. Otherwise, they could have done this and still been defending the rook. Why aren't they taking my rook? It says that's not their best move. It's not one of their 3 best moves. Their best move is knight to d5. Their second best is knight to e4. And their third best is to take this pawn with check, which I assume I would have to move over and they would go back. That's probably, like, I'm positive any opponent I play right here is going to take this rook. But let's say they made their best move. Now what? Now I come up here and force them to take the bishop? Nope, it's changed its mind. Now it says e6. Sorry, that's c6. Okay, so they have to move the knight again. They're going to come here to threaten this rook. That doesn't seem like a great idea, but it is their best move. So I have to move this rook to c8. So they have to move the knight again. They're just going to go there. That's what it says. I mean, okay. So they go there. Oh no, it's changed its mind. Sorry, for just a second, it said the check over here was the best, but nope, knight to a6. Okay. And now my best move is c5, but now they're going to get this pawn and my rook is still pinned. It says they wouldn't, but okay, let's say I played my best move. And it's not in their best interest to take that pawn. Why? Because my rook is still pinned. Okay, let's say they did this. I only have one legal move, right? It's to come over. Then they go back, don't they? Oh no, it says now they would take here. It would be worse for them to check again. Okay, so they take here, which is what I've been waiting for them to do for a while, and I get my choice of pieces. It's best for me to take the bishop. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose this game. Not only against a bot, but against whoever S. Fowler is, and I'm probably not as good as P. Shaw. Oh, it's cut off on the bottom of the screen, but it says this game was between S. Fowler and P. Shaw. Oh, you can see it right there in the right column. And it was apparently at a tournament where somebody finished 93rd back in 2006. White ended up winning this game, according to this information here. Well, White would end up winning this game if I was playing it. I'm pretty sure. I know I'm up a piece here, but these knights are going to work really well together. Their king's going to be able to get in front of this pawn, because that's my only extra pawn, right? The one in the middle. Okay, well, it's no wonder I didn't understand that. I am glad I got it right, but they're going to move over. And I don't know that I would have played bishop to h3 next, which it said was my best move. I might have played the other one, and then the king would have come up next to it. And then what would I have done with it? Dropped it back here? I don't know. Yeah, that one's something else right there. It says it's only rated 1783. Okay. All right, let's look at the three that I failed, which one was rated 1001, and it was this one. Let's click this button down here. I don't know why you have to click the button to get it to play its first move, but you do. Okay, they pushed that pawn. I don't remember what I did. I think I moved the king over, didn't I? So my only other candidate move was to put the bishop here. Oh, that was right. Okay, so then I take the rook, and then I go after the pawn. All right, I have to go to the analysis board to figure out why going after the pawn first wasn't the best. Okay, they played that, and bishop to e2 is my only move. King to b6, which is what I played, is my third best move, and I still have a mild advantage, but it's very close to even. And b4, which I think I mentioned at some point, is my second best move. Okay, well, what's wrong with this, though? It says they move it forward again, and then I would take it. All right, that's why I moved my king over there. Now what do they do? Oh, now they take my knight? Really? And the pawn, and then I suppose I would check them, but we're tied now. Really? I thought for sure I would be able to come back here, blockade those two pawns, and then get one of these with my king, because of where my king is. But it says that they would play king to e6, among other moves, and I wouldn't play here. Oh, I don't have to. Okay, if they move that pawn forward, I'm okay. But what if they move this pawn forward first, and then I can't put my bishop there? So I think I would put my bishop there. Does that lose? Nope, still even. Okay, oh no. Oh, that's why, because they're going to get that pawn. Oh, and then I can't go get those because they have a passer. I don't like the term passer. I said it because I've heard it, but I like the term passed pawn. And here I only have one move that maintains equality, and it's putting the king back here. I guess I get it. It's because this way the bishop would end up just being a protector of the pawns, and my opponent has more pawns than I do. And it says they can go here, they can go here, they can go to e5. It's a king move, though, so let's say that they go here. Now what do I do? Only one move maintains equality now, and it's putting the bishop back there. That keeps that pawn from coming forward, I guess. Okay, well, backing up, though, when I put my bishop over there, what if I hadn't put my bishop over there? What if after they moved their king, I left my bishop where it was because it says king b6 is okay, too? Don't they move this pawn? It says it's one of their better moves. Okay, then what? Oh, I still have two pieces guarding this square. I have the pawn and the bishop. Okay. So if they ever tried that, I would take first. Oh, but then they might try to sneak by behind. But then I could get out of the way and my bishop would still be guarding there. Here I only have two moves that maintain equality. One is to protect the pawn. Okay. And we're basically just going to be shuffling our kings. Like if they play here, then I just go here. And then we're basically just going to do this back and forth. And it's going to be... Okay, I think I understand. They were going to sacrifice. They were going to sacrifice their rook for the knight. If I moved my king first, I had to put my bishop there first to get rid of the rook. I think I understand that. It took me a while, but I got it. Let's try the one that was rated 1599 that I missed. I will click the play button here. Yeah, here I had no idea. I just ended up trying to do something like this, an end around. Was it threatening the queen? That was something else that we thought of. Was it threatening the queen the other way? No, because then I leave my back rank, right? Was it threatening the bishop? Oh, it was. Okay, that was one of the things I thought of, but I don't know why that's better. And they just gave up the bishop. What? Why did... I didn't think they were going to give up the bishop. Go to the analysis board. They did that, what was that they took? Oh, a pawn, okay. Only move that... Oh, and it's not a very big advantage, it's just +2. But I've learned that +2 is a bigger advantage in the end game than it is in the middle game. Because in the middle game, things are really complicated. It's easy for an opponent to miss a tactic. It's much easier for me to miss a tactic. But in the endgame, +2 actually is pretty significant, but it's only if I play rook to f8. Yeah, the thing that they played is not their best move. It's not in their top 3. Because in the puzzle, oh no, okay, sorry, it was in their top 3. It's their second best move to go to queen to d5. But their best move is just to move this pawn. Okay, what if they move the pawn? That was the wrong pawn. That's not the pawn that it said, sorry. c5. I'm backwards because I'm playing with the white pieces. The last several times I had to look at the numbers and letters, I was playing with the black pieces. Okay, it says c5. That's this. Okay, c5. Okay, it's +2 now, +2.3. My best move is to check the... It's not my only move with an advantage. I could play d5 and still be at +1, but my best move is checking here. And they have 2 legal moves or blocking. But blocking with the bishop would be bad, right? If they blocked with the bishop, I could take it either way. Wait, it says if they blocked with the bishop, I would take with this rook? Wouldn't that, oh, that leaves my back rank open. That's really scary. I know it would be a check, so they couldn't come back immediately, but my rooks would be side by side instead of lined up where they could protect each other on the back rank. But that blocking with the bishop would be really bad for them, it says. I'm just curious, though. It's much better if I take with this rook. Much better. Because they can't come up. Oh, wait, they could come up that way. They can't come up this way. Okay, if really I'm leaving my back rank, that's what it says. They can't come up to the dark square because of my bishop, but they can come up here. And that's their best move. Their queen's hanging. Wow. That's why that's bad. I could just take the queen now, but it's not as good as taking the bishop. Really. I think I would take the queen. I didn't see that. Okay, I'm really embarrassed. Never mind. But yeah, none of that stuff happened. Let's reset this puzzle. So my best move was to pin the bishop to the queen, and one of their best moves was just to give up the bishop. Okay. I'm probably not going to see that in a game, but maybe in a fast game like Blitz or Bullet, I might do it just instinctively. What do I do? Oh, I'll just go here, and then I would probably end up losing that too. Okay, one more. 1954 is the other one that I failed. This one I had no earthly clue. I checked with my queen. That was wrong. Should I have checked with the bishop first? No, of course not. Should I have captured that knight? Nope. What else did I think of? Putting my knight in here? Obviously that's not good. What about here? Nope. What about pushing this pawn? Nope. That was something else that I had thought of. What about threatening their bishop? Nope. What about threatening their bishop this way? It took me a long time to see that, but now what? Oh, now I trap it with the pawn? And now I take their bishop? But look what I've done to my king. I know I'm not worried about this because of my queen here protecting it, but really, reset? My best move was to threaten that bishop because it had nowhere to go. Okay. That was one thing that I guess I need to add to my checklist for these more complex puzzles. Besides checks, captures, and threats. When I'm talking about threats, maybe a sub-point of that needs to be to look for undefended pieces. I'm going to have to add that in because I keep forgetting it. This piece is undefended and is effectively trapped. Okay. Pawn. Take. I got it. Trapped piece was one of the themes. That makes sense. Knight outpost. That I guess technically is a knight outpost, but I don't think that's one of the themes here. But I don't like how I've opened my king. I know I went up a piece, but that's going to come in danger. That's going to be dangerous later. If they don't take that bishop, I'm going to end up having to use it as a defender here. Okay, I got it. We made it to 34 today. I needed to do that. Thank you for spending your time here. I'll see you next time.